ready.
Yep.
Make sure you are lined up before you jam that sucker home.
Yeah.
Alright, so wind is coming from the right just a little bit, so that right aileron needs to be into it. That's going to help you steer. And as we start speeding up, that starts coming out slowly and slowly. Did you drop your feet down? Did you drop your feet down or did you leave them up?
I kind of, a little bit of both.
Okay, alrighty. Keep us all over the runway. Try to hold runway heading, so we're that wind is pushing us to the left and you're kind of turning to the left too, so keep that right crab in. And at least hold runway heading until we get to 1,100, 1,200 feet. Then you can start your turnout. When you get to 2,000, go ahead and throttle back to about 2,100 RPM and level us off. Alright, so we're also listening to Fort Wayne approach. Yeah. They don't seem too busy, so whenever you're ready, you can go ahead and call them up.
Okay.
And right now, we are actually, we're north of Smithfield, so keep your turning coming. So what you can tell them is just out of Smithfield.
Okay, alright. Fort Wayne approach, 1249er.
Skyhawk 6, Victor Uniform. Thanks for the help. Contact Tower 119.1. Talk to you outbound.
119.1, 36 Victor Uniform, no thanks.
Calling off Smithfield, take on call sign.
What?
1249er, just out of Smithfield.
Skyhawk 419er, squawk 4662.
Squawking 4662.
Yep.
Alright, cool. 4662. Okay. So will he ask me my request?
Yeah, here in a minute.
Okay.
Doing good so far.
Alright, cool.
So he's going to come back with an altimeter setting, and he's going to want to know what you're doing.
Alright.
Skyhawk 12419er, radar contact a mile northwest of the Smithfield Airport, Fort Wayne altimeter 2983, say altitude.
2983, passing through 2,100 feet.
Skyhawk 419er, roger.
And level off at 2,000.
Alright, thanks.
Go ahead and tell him, 419er, we're going to be maneuvering. Tell him what we're actually going to be doing, so just call him back up again.
41 approach, 1249er, we'll be maneuvering 4 miles north-northwest of Fort Wayne Airport, 1,000 AGL, request traffic advisory.
Skyhawk 419er, roger.
Okay, good. So the first thing we got to do is stay away from the towers. You see those right off the nose?
Yeah, right
we got these guys right here, so 2,000 feet horizontally. Good job. Let's go ahead and go around them. And it doesn't really matter if you go left or right. I just want to see that you can deconflict. Okay, so your radio procedure, great. You got your point across. Absolutely no problem. The first time when he called back, asked you to repeat yourself. You told him you're off of Smithfield. Typically, you just respond back and say, Fort Wayne approach 12419er. Nothing wrong with that. That's fine. It just gave him a little extra info.
Yeah.
And when you came with your request, if there had been that kind of enough of a pause, I probably just would have done an initial callback again. So Fort Wayne approach 12419er, and he would have come back and said 419er go Fort Wayne approach, kind of like what do you want? And then you give him the whole thing because he may be doing something, he may not be ready to take all that information at once.
Yeah.
So other than that, it's great. He's not really busy right now, so it's not an issue.
Alright, cool. Sounds good.
All right, so there's Jefferson Point. Here is Getz Road, right off our nose.
Okay.
So the ball fields, you see those kind of inflatable buildings out there in the woods?
Right there.
It's going to be half mile north of that. You can go ahead and drop the nose, take us down to 1,800 feet, so that'd be about 1,000 AGL.
Yeah.
You see down there, do you see Fort Wayne International?
Yes, yeah.
Up there? Okay, good. This kind of flying, this is where the G1000 gets really, really useful. Having the updated database with all the obstacles and all that. Really, really, really helpful.
Around non-radar airspace, the north portion of India approach. Thank you.
105, thank you. There is 18.
Alright.
Okay, so it's going to be right off your left.
Okay.
I got your power at about 22.
Alright.
And pretty trimmed out. You have control of the aircraft?
I have control.
Alright, you have control of the aircraft. And just keep a left-hand turn going around that. Now keep in mind, we've got a 15-knot wind coming from the north, so you're going to have to keep that in mind.
Scout 136 Victor Uniform.
Watch your coordination.
Contact, I'll show you through 2,100. Yeah. 2,100 we'll be 4,500 again.
I don't know which ballpark it is. I'm guessing, well, I mean, it's one of those two, but...
It's the smaller one.
Oh, it's the smaller one? You're going to fly right over the top of it.
Alright.
So bank out hard right, and then make a really hard left, then look down, then it should be right there. There you go. This is kind of almost like your ground reference maneuver, right? I have control of the aircraft.
You have control?
I have control of the aircraft. It's like your turns on a point. We want to keep equal distance away. So that wind is really pushing us from the north. Right now our nose is into it. So at this point here I'd have my I have a steeper bank coming around.
Oh yeah.
Steeper, steeper, steeper. This would be my steepest point right here with the wind to our back.
Okay.
We get line back up on them. Okay. Alright, so this bank angle right here, it's about 25 degrees. So you're kind of cutting hard over the top of the field.
Yeah, I got you.
At this point it has to be a little bit more shallow, so that wind is pushing us, so we're not going to have quite as steep on this upwind part.
Okay, alright.
And so that helps you keep it in view there.
Yeah.
Now, as we pass the upwind, coming the crosswind here,
Yeah.
we're going to start steepening it up. Alright, now the bank starts coming out.
Approach 134.45.
And we're not talking about a lot. I'm only making adjustments of about 5 degrees or so.
Yeah.
But it keeps you right on top of it.
Okay.
Okay, good. You have control of the aircraft? Control. You have control of the aircraft. You can go ahead and leave the power. I've got to have it. I always put my hand on the throttle. You can leave it right at 23 there. That'd be good. Yep, so like I said, this is just like a turn on a point. Oh, just like it is a turn on a point. So you do turns on a point for this, taking pictures or looking at stuff, or if you're an AC-130 gunship, so you can blow stuff out of the...
Yeah.
Turn really big things into really small things.
Yeah, those things are off.
It's funny, I saw a funny shirt talking about I knew the day would haunt me when my instructor said turns on a point would define my career.
Yeah.
Old picture of an AC-130 making someone's day very bad. You'll go and make your turn back to Smithfield. And what you can do is, do you have Smithfield in sight?
No, not yet.
Okay. Go ahead and hold this heading. We're not going to head straight back. I want you to see Smithfield.
Let me see here. Okay.
And then once you got it in sight, we can go ahead and let them know that we're going to go back to V.
I have Smithfield in sight.
Okay. Alright.
Alright, full line approach 1249er.
That's a 419er approach.
We have Smithfield in sight. We'd like to go VFR 1249er.
Scott 419er, no traffic observed in the area. Squawk VFR, change to advisory frequency approved.
Frequency change approved, Squawk VFR 1249er. Good day.
Golden Eagle 2 Hotel Juliet.
Very, very nice. Good job.
Alright, thanks. Oh, wait, no, back.
62 Hotel Juliet. Alright, so no higher than 25, which we're kind of at right now. So power back. We'll think about getting back into Smithfield. So, like I said, we're just going to keep heading to the north. We're not going to head straight to the airport because we're not ready to land. We don't know what the weather is. We don't know if there's any other traffic. So what we're going to do is switch over to the advisory frequency. So let's do what we just said we were going to do. Alright, that's good. And let's go ahead and listen to the weather.
Smithfield Airport, automated weather observation 2233 Zulu weather. Wind 070 at 3. Visibility more than 10. Sky condition clear below 12,000. Temperature 23 Celsius. 2.12 Celsius. Altimeter 2.
You're getting ready to land. I want you to take as much time as possible. So take a nice little gradual left-hand turn here. We're going to enter back into the 45 to the downwind. So all the time while I'm talking you, distracting you, I want you to pay attention to where we're going and how you're going to enter into whatever it is you said you would, whether it's a midfield crosswind or 45 to the downwind. Okay. We're at the point now where I'm not going to be making up for you, so I'm not going to give you pointers. I'm kind of going to let you screw up, and then I'll let you know once we get to a certain point that I want you to recover from it.
We got the water tower.
What kind of altitude are you at?
What?
What kind of altitude are you at?
Traffic.
Okay, cool. So we're going to work on leveling out. Alrighty. And 2,000 RPM, that's fine. Good, that's keeping us at about 95, 96 knots. is fine. We're not hauling into the traffic pattern. You'll find with me, when it comes from cross-country cruising, I like to descend at a high rate of speed. I like to keep my fuel burn at the same and not throttle back. But when I do get to the runway, when I do get to the pattern, I like to see that power come back to about 100 knots or less.
Alright, that's fine.
Alright, so go ahead and make your call that we're entering downwind.
Entering 45 to downwind or just entering downwind?
Just say entering downwind.
Just the traffic, 149 entering downwind from runway 5.
Apparently that's correct. We are kind of just coming into a straight downwind.
Okay, that's fine. Alright, been a little low here.
Okay. I'll steal that from you.
Alright, sure.
So, if you recall from when we were working on pattern stuff last time, that's a beam the numbers is our point, and as soon as we get to beam the numbers, the power comes back. Yeah, exactly. 15, nose comes down, flaps to take off. About 80 knots is what you're shooting for, so that's the first set of criteria here. Take a look at your line right here. You're kind of intersecting into the runway. Go ahead and swing out a little bit. Give yourself some room here on the downwind. You don't want to choke it up too close because that means your base leg is going to be very short. Actually, it'll the distance we're at right now, your base and final are kind of going to mash together.
Alright, so we'll do that. We're beam the numbers right now.
Power back to 15. Looking good. Let that nose just kind of slowly start coming down.
Okay.
Flaps to take off, or I'm sorry, flaps to 10. Flying the diamonds too much. But that, so kind of, don't force it down, but just hold that nose down so it doesn't come up and level you off. What happens if it levels you off is then you get a huge increase in airspeed as you dive back down to continue to descent. So hold that 80 knots.
Hold the 80 knots.
Alright, make your base and your, say, I got this radio call.
Alright, that's fine.
Smithfield traffic 12419, short base, short final, runway 5, Smithfield. Go ahead and just make a nice gradual turn here, keeping an eye on the runway, and bring us level on final. I don't want you to bank more than 30 degrees. 30 degrees is a lot of bank at a low power setting. You'll notice here we are getting low and we are getting slow. You got your power down to 1200, so that's not going to help us. So at this point we're low. We're not going to add any more flaps right now. We're going to watch out for that tower. You're going to watch your airspeed, which is 60 knots. I want to see about 65 on final.
Okay.
So that means drop the nose. Get that airspeed back. There it is. And if you have to add power to arrest the descent, go ahead. You have flaps, so you can go ahead and put in 20 degrees of flaps now. Alright. That's all we're going to use. Past this point, I really don't want you making any changes to the aircraft. I just want you focusing on landing. So we're pitching for airspeed, powering for altitude. So right now we're going fast, about 75 knots. So the nose comes up, yep, and the power will come out to continue to descend. Anytime you do one, you usually have to adjust the other.
Okay.
And we're picking our point on the ground.
Alright, I got it.
Holding that nose down. There you go. Now slowly look towards the end of the runway. Look towards the end of the runway and slowly pull back, and power should be out. There you go. And so that's nose wheel first, so you got to continue pulling back, and that gets you into what they call, kind of a little oscillation like that. Alright. So we don't have enough runway to do a touch and go, so I'm going to have you taxi all the way back. Actually, I tell you what, we got to cut it off.
Alright, that's fine. Alright.
Good job for your one landing.
I think it.